Hey friends, today we are unboxing the Work Your Light Oracle. What's up everyone? Welcome back to Living by the F Word. Today we are unboxing the Work Your Light Oracle card, which is by Rebecca Campbell, and the artwork is by Danielle Noel. This is a really popular Oracle deck. In fact, I always thought it was going to be my first one because I've always been attracted to the roses and the pinks and the turquoises and just really like a lot of colors that I love. And I'd seen the imagery on, some gifts on Facebook where you can have the gift circling a card and then you pause it or screenshot it and you see what card you get. So it's really popular. And I also worked with this deck when I had a life coach, and she would use this deck. So even though we were on a phone call and on opposite ends of the country, she would use this deck with me often. And so I always thought it was going to be my first one. It wasn't though, but I finally do have it, and so we're gonna flip through it today. So I really hope you like this video. Before we get to the table and the cards, let me introduce myself in case you're new. My name is Jess. I'm a fine artist, flight attendant, and festival enthusiast, and here on my channel, I talk about all the F words I'm passionate about. I also talk about tarot, oracle, and LENORMAND card divination. So if you're interested in any of those things, please consider liking this video. It does help me out. And please consider subscribing and being a part of my community. I would absolutely love to have you here. So without further ado, let's get to the table and look at the cards. Hey everyone, welcome to the table. Today we are unboxing and flipping through the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, and the artwork is by Danielle Noel. This was the first Oracle deck I ever wanted to get, but it's not what I ended up with. I just got it on sale from Hay House, who is the publisher. And the reason why I never got it first was because I ended up researching different Oracle decks, and I ended up with the Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Linn instead. But recently I have been on a big Oracle deck kick. I collect tarot cards. I also am starting to learn LENORMAND in Order of My Nana, but I really enjoy the simplicity of the Oracle cards and the Oracle decks, just because it could just add that like extra little maybe word or maybe insight that you need to go along with the tarot readings. And I really enjoy it when people do pick a card readings and the piles of readings they do mix the Oracle cards with tarot readings. So I decided, you know what? I just really love collecting decks because of the artwork. And I do love working with all of them too. But I really love the artwork. And so I have now started collecting Oracle decks too. So we're gonna go through and open this box. I haven't looked at them yet. Now, the reason why I thought I'd always get this deck first was because when I was working with my life coach and mentor last year, it was an online relationship, but one of the cards she picked for me when I first started working with her was from this deck. And she sent me the picture, and I just remember really feeling like the imagery was beautiful. And this is a pretty popular and well-known deck. I mean, there's a ton of unboxing videos about this deck, and they also have a newer deck out as well that I believe is called the Starseed Oracle. So it's like this, it's like a different version, but by the same people. It's like a blue box, I think, and it's like a V, the box, but I decided to go with the first one. So let's open it up and see what we got. Okay, once again, I love the Hay House boxes. They're really sturdy, and I like this because it keeps the guidebook in place, it keeps the cards in place. I feel like it keeps them safe versus a tuck box. A tuck box is where it folds. Let me see if I like something like this. This is a tuck box where it folds in like that. So I enjoy these boxes. I just feel like they're really sturdy. Okay, so we have You Are the Oracle. Okay. And we have our nice guidebook here. I do find that a lot of the Oracle decks come with some really nice guidebooks. I guess because they have an explanation of the cards. So let's see, we have the Welcome to Your Work Your Light Oracle, You Are the Oracle, Working with the Work Your Light Oracle, Reading for Other People, Work Your Light Oracle Attunement, Opening Sacred Soul Space, Work Your Light Oracle Card Spreads. So I will have to go through that, and I do plan on, I think what I'm gonna do is I'll do these unboxing videos just so we could flip through and look at the imagery, but then I'll probably revisit it after I start working with them. I also am gonna do some flip throughs of decks I have worked with already, and so those might flow a lot better because I already know what the cards look like, I know how they work, I know, you know, about their, how I connect with them and so forth. But for these, we are going to connect together. Okay, so we have in both the inside and on both ends, You Are the Oracle, okay? Oh. Okay, here, this is the beginning. So we have the ever unfolding rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. Happening for you, not to you. So this is a collage style deck. I love the soft pinks and blues in this deck, and these are the backs of the cards. My middle name is Rose, so I think that's probably another reason why I was attracted to this. I actually not so much with Oracle cards, but with tarot cards, sometimes I'm super attracted to the back of the deck versus the actual imagery of the cards. Like I'll like what the back of the cards look like more than the actual imagery in the deck. Okay. So we have no. I'm gonna turn this light down a little bit. It's kind of draining it out. Okay. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. No, if it's... That's very interesting how the path is going towards that storm, and it's kind of highlighted, but on the outsides it's kind of more calm. And then of course we have yes. Just say yes. So I know that on Facebook there was actually like a GIF image or something with this deck where it would just flip through all the different cards and then you pause it and it basically would pick a card for you. So some of my subscribers might find this deck very familiar. All right, so we have, you're already doing it, stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. Wow, these cards are so beautiful. Dang, like that is where I want to be right now. It looks a little chilly, but she's in a sundress. So beautiful. Okay, so we have align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? Yeah. Something's out of place. Something's not working right. Okay. And we have answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? I just love the colors in this deck. Just so beautiful. Okay. We have boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? So this could be in the workplace. This could be at home. This could be with yourself. There's a lot that can be worked with this card. Okay. The crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Yeah. We sure do that a lot as humans. We love to cling on to things or situations, or at least not everyone, but most people sometimes will cling on to something that's no longer serving them, even though they know that they should be releasing it. This reminds me a lot of the Tower card in the tarot, this one. But if you look, you have all this storming even in the windows. It's a dark building, but once it's split, it's this beautiful flowing stream and flowers in the opening. I moved the card, so now it's not focusing, of course. But yeah. Release something with that. All right. So, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Ooh. Ooh, these are kind of like a little bit of a jab. Sometimes these cards almost seem like they're a little bit of maybe like your best friend telling you what you know but what you don't want to hear. Okay. Here we go. We have mirror. So who or what is triggering you? What if you're triggering yourself? That's what I felt like I've been doing lately. I know that I get upset over something, and then I continue to stay upset, and then it just like feeds off of that completely. If that makes any sense. You know, it's like that. Oops, I almost skipped one. It's like that. It really is like the law of attraction. And yeah, I mean, what's triggering you? Yeah, stress. I think that's what's been, things have been building up lately for me. Okay. So here we have the priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? This deck is gorgeous. There's just like a depth to these cards, and of course I'm trying to get it as close as possible for you, but there's just so much to see. And there's like line work, and then there's glowing lights and shimmering stars. I don't know, I'm really attracted to it. Okay, so this is a little religious. So we have the Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Looked a little like some of the art I used to study in college. You know, very like Mary-like. I'm not a very religious person, but obviously I'm very much into spirit and a higher power, of course. There's definitely something out there. I just don't know what. I just don't know what the creator is. That's why I just prefer to say universe, because it makes it easier for me. But that did have a little bit of a, like, almost religion to it, in my opinion. Okay, here we have Starseed, What Lights You Up. So the second deck by Rebecca Campbell is called the Starseed Oracle. So that's the second one. That could be like a companion deck to this that I do not have yet. Dang, I want to be there. I like so want to be these people, like, in this imagery. It's so pretty. Okay. We have the Trust the Niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? This is a darker card with just that one purple there, that one little splash of purple. It's like the darkest card I've seen so far. Okay, we have Trust Your Path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? It's like that little extra bit of confidence we all need sometimes. Everyone has dreams and goals, and I just wish that more people would support one another when it comes to things like that. Okay. Okay, we have Warrior Woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? Break the chain. Ancestral patterns healing, rewriting the future. Ooh. Look at these planets. So pretty. There's just a lot of depth to these cards. And let's see, there's a lot of people going on here. So I guess that's like the history, their family line maybe. I love the little triangle too. I am a huge point person when it comes to, like, for instance, this point. Oops, that was my selenite. But I love points usually in pyramids, like, a lot. So I like that there's triangles in this deck on the back, and then I like how there's like this little tiny triangle as like a decorative thing with the words here. Okay, so we have Dance with Life, do something to change your energy. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. That definitely looks like a beautiful retreat. With the water flowing. I'm trying to get it in better focus for you. get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. You could really get lost in these images, you know, if you really are looking closely. Like there is a, let's see, we have a snake in here. We have crystals. We have water in the distance. We have lightning in the distance, storms in the distance, but also clear. I'm kind of going a little quickly through them, but like I said, I think maybe what I'll do is for these flip throughs, just go through so that you could see them briefly. And then I will revisit them after I've worked with them, and I could tell you about like my favorite cards and what stood out to me. But here we have the inner temple. So devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Okay, so we have leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. It's very much like the Fool in the tarot. Taking that leap of faith off that cliff. All right, so this was the card that I got when I was working with my life coach, and she pulled it for me. And it's called Play, and it says, have fun, celebrate, and don't be so serious. Because I actually, at the time, I was feeling really lost. I was feeling very, when I was working with her, I was feeling very like I had no direction. I wanted to start my YouTube channel, but I didn't. I felt like I was creative, but I felt like I was lacking sharing my creativity. And I just was like, really, I was like feeling like with my work that, I don't know, like I like my job, but like I just also felt unfulfilled in a way, because I don't know, I turned everything I loved into work. So it was really crazy that I got this card, Play. And what's even crazier to me is this image here. This is how I imagine my higher self. So if I'm ever meditating and I imagine me talking to my higher self, I have hair, like it's me, but I have hair with this style haircut, which is haircut I used to have. Bangs with long hair, and she's nude too. And a lot of times I feel like my higher self is nude and like in perfect form, like how I would consider perfect form, like of my body. So really interesting. Okay, we have share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. This one has a little bit more black and white in it too, with the darker, but it just pops. Like there's just a lot of, I know I'm being very repetitive when I'm saying depth, but that's how I feel. Like I feel like when you stare at these cards, you can see forever. Like there's no end to them almost. So we have Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. Okay, now we have Soul Family. Call in your tribe, you don't have to do it alone. Oh, This reminds me like so much of my festival family and my soul sisters that I call my friends that I call my soul sisters. And just, you know, those are the types of people that you could like hit up whenever, even if you haven't talked for a really long time. But I feel like I'm in need of this actually. Like I really need to just like vent and hug and be like one with someone like this. Take a break, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Yeah, sometimes we just go way too hard. This one's having trouble focusing for you, but there, oh, nope. It's so pretty. This chair is really noisy. I bet you it's gonna pop up on the microphone a lot. Okay, so now we have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. That seems like a good card after you've been working hard for something. Like, you were born to do this, you know? Okay, so here we have Anna, or Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So this is another pretty religious card. I know that when I saw some other reviews, some people were saying it bothered them, the religious notes in this deck, but it really doesn't bother me too much because there's a lot of religion within the tarot too. So, I mean, how can you let religion bother you in an oracle deck? I do tend to like oracle decks that are nature driven, and this is still very nature driven, this deck. There's lots of flowing water, there's lots of stars, there's, you know, different types of earth scenes and buildings and all that. So all right, we have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Wow, these decks. I'd be interested to actually compare. I've seen people do it, but I'd be interested to compare what the star seed looks like next to this deck. But this deck, these cards are, whew, I really like them. Okay, so we have birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. You know what? I'm wondering if I'm gonna take my mood ring off. I'm wondering if that's what it's trying to focus on instead of the card. Or it just might be too dark in here and the light is just not allowing it to work. I might have to set it up, like, I'm still setting this new camera up, and so there might be autofocus points that I still need to work on. But dang, this looks like a labyrinth. Okay, we have Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. Oh yeah, well we have, oh wow, Jesus is there. That is Jesus right there. And then these are other These are other types of gods like Buddha. So we have a lot of religion in this deck. Look at the stars though, how gorgeous. And then even this is kind of like a cross. It's like really interesting. See, I studied art history, so there was a lot of religion within art history, so that doesn't bother me, not a bit, in this deck. Okay. We have the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits, Soul Tribe. There's a Burning Man camp called Soul Tribe. This card is, oh my gosh, I just want to live in some of these cards. Wow. Okay. So we have Irma. Where are you being called to journey to? Okay. Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Your angels. Lots of layers. Lots of... This is what's cool about this collage style, is that there's lots of transparency and layers within this deck. Okay. We have Pillar of Light. I said vibration like the hydration pack. Your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. Whew. This is like all about alignment. Look at that. Wow. All right. Protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Cord cutting is actually something I learned from my life coach as well. When you ever find yourself in a situation or in an attachment to someone that you feel like you need to let go of, imagine that you both have a cord connecting you, and then take a scissor and cut the cord. Okay. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Try to get a little closer for you. Okay, so now we have Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Okay, so now this one is Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. So trust the universe, basically. All right, so we have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Like, you are the creator of your life. That's basically what that's saying. Okay. So this is Mintakan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these correctly or not. I'm gonna have to read the guidebook to see what it's in reference to, but longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Okay. And the last one is Pleiades. I don't know if I'm saying this right at all. If you know what any of this means, please don't make fun of me. I just was attracted to this deck because of the imagery, so I have really no idea, you know, what these names are. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. All right. So we did the flip through. Actually, I don't think I read the back to you either. So let me read the back of the box to you. Okay. So, are you ready to work your light? This beautiful 44 card oracle deck has been created to help you light up the world with your presence. By working with its 5 suits and connecting with your intuition, you will be able to start living a life in alignment with who you truly are. Confirmation cards give a quick hint of instant guidance. Inquiry cards help you tune in to the whispers of your soul. Action cards guide you on what action to take. Activation cards evoke healing within you. And transmission cards connect you with supportive energies. Rebecca Campbell is a celebrated spiritual teacher and the best-selling author of Light is the New Black. Daniel Noel is a designer and artist whose work weaves together mystic narratives and intuitive visions. So they talk about there being different suits, which I did not realize as we were flipping through, but since we have them in order, it does say right here, suit number 1, confirmation cards. So there's only 4 of those. You have the ever unfolding rose, you have no, then on the flip side you have yes, and then you have you're already doing it. So this is 1 suit. Okay. Okay, so that's suit number 1. Then we have the inquiry cards, which are a few more. It's basically align your life all the way up to warrior woman. So up to this one. So this is the second suit here, which is inquiry cards. So that's why there's a lot of questions. What is not aligned or what needs to change? Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Who or what is triggering you? So these are all, that makes sense for that particular suit. Okay. So then the suit 3 is the action cards. Like, what action do you need to take, basically? So that goes from break the chain all the way to take a break. So, yeah, these are all the action suit, basically telling you what you need to do. Okay. Then we have activation cards. So the Age of Light all the way to the Unbound. Age of Light. So this is suit 4 activation cards. Like if you need to activate something into your life, maybe. And then the final suit of suit 5 is transmission cards, which this is 4 cards again. So the first suit was 4 cards, and then the last suit is 4 cards. So it says there's a field of consciousness where all wisdom resides, a field where all the answers to all the questions that you could possibly fathom live, a field where past, present, and future exist simultaneously, where the wisdom of the heavens and earth calls you by name, where what you are seeking is also seeking you, a field where all soul contracts, history, and guidance whisper eternal, a field where the book of your soul is open for you to flick through. The Work Your Light Oracle was created to help you connect with this wisdom, to hear the whispers of your soul, to tap into the collective field, to access and increase your psychic senses, to bring your life into alignment, to surrender back to the rhythm of the universe. If you want a 6-pack, you need to work out your abs. The same goes for your soul. If you want to hear the whispers clearly, you've got to show up and listen. If you want to deepen your relationship with the subtle realms, you need to commit to spending more time with your soul. If you want to light up the room with your presence, you've got to turn on your light daily. If you want your life to be in alignment with the mysterious force that governs all of life, you got to work your light on a regular basis. This may sound obvious and simple, but many people miss it. They see spirituality as something fluffy, something intangible. The trick to strengthening your intuitive muscles is to be disciplined and to work them. When you regularly work your light, you will find that you hear your intuition more and more clearly. With each passing week, its whispers gets louder and louder. The visions become stronger and stronger, and you begin getting more and more confident. When you are devoted to spending more time with your soul and letting it guide your days, you will find that you are living in a life that is in alignment with who you are at a soul level, and that you light up the world with your unique presence. You fall into flow with all of life. You serve the world just by being you. I call it working your light, and this deck was created to help you do just that. Wow, that's so beautiful. Now, I'm curious if, I guess, once you start working with them and you shuffle, then all the suits are mixed up, obviously. However, what if you just wanted an answer to something? You could keep the suits separate, I guess. But let's give it a shuffle and see what we need to hear tonight. Once again, fair warning, I am not the best shuffler, but let's see. Let's see what we need to hear tonight. Oh, we got 2. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. So, I wonder if I zoom you in, if you'll be able to see it better. Or if it would just be better if I hold it up for you. I need to get a card stand so that I could have them held up for you. But I'm just gonna use that rose quartz for now. I'm gonna use, let's see if I could get this up for you. There we go. Okay. Okay. It's not centered. I don't know if that's gonna irk some people, so I better fix it. You know what I'm saying? It might bother some people that it's not perfectly centered. That's all right though. All right. I think you could see them. Okay, so we got Irmara or Irama, which I couldn't pronounce before either, and it says, "Where are you being called to journey to?" And then the other card is Starseed, "What lights you up?" So they really go, just like going off of like reading those two questions, where are you being called to, where are you being called to journey to, and what lights you up, kind of go hand in hand, in my opinion. You know, I mean, when you're soul searching and you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, you kind of need to figure out what, like, well, yeah, what is your reasoning for what makes you happy, basically. And you kind of also have to always trust your gut as far as, you know, being called somewhere. I'm just turning the light up so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, but let me read from the guidebook. So we have, and I'm hoping, I'm gonna have to find it on the table of contents. Where is that card? This is, okay, here we go. So we have, this is suit 4, and it's an activation card. Okay, and it's Irma, page 98. So let's go there. It's cool because in the guidebook here, it says activation card too. So it'll tell you once you find the card that you need to, that you're looking for. Okay, so this first card here, which is the first card that was pulled, is where are you being called to journey to? The Celtic word Imrama, which I keep saying differently. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It doesn't have the pronunciation spelt out here. Means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we are going, but our soul knows the way. If you pulled this card, you are either being called on a soul journey or are already on one. It could be to a physical ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place both within us and to the planet as well. You are being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is a journey to the world's secret sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage isn't possible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul train and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you are being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. Work your light activation. Hold the card on your heart and say, may seeds of light long ago planted begin to rise. I am ready to remember ancient secrets from lands that my soul knows from times past. May I be held by the ancient lineages that my soul has served and remember that I don't have to do it all alone. Okay, so then we have Starseed. Which is from suit 2, which is an inquiry card. And Starseed is on page 50. So Starseed, what lights you up? Starseeds are souls with a double mission: to raise their own consciousness and the consciousness of the planet. They are old souls who have incarnated elsewhere beyond this planet. Many starseeds arrive with a feeling that time is running out and that there's something that they came here to do or create or contribute. If you pulled this card, it is to confirm that you are a starseed and you are being encouraged to answer the call. Oh my gosh, my friend Ariel is gonna bug out if she watches this. She's not gonna bug out, but she just did a whole YouTube video about starseeds, so this is really, really interesting. Okay, so if you pull this card to confirm that you are a starseed and you are being encouraged to answer the call, to follow what lights you up. Once awake, most starseed souls find it hard to have meaningless conversations, jobs, and relationships. They innately know that there is much more to life and feel that there is something more and get to work. They remain restless until they step into their calling, which is to light up the world with their unique presence. Starseeds are scattered all over the planet, in hospitals and schools, in slums and mansions, on stages and in edit suits, in parks and nightclubs, in taxis and theme parks. Many starseeds spend parts of their lives trying to fit in or in some form of spiritual closet. If you are dimming your light to fit in, it is time that you stop and start embracing the unique light that you came here to share and treat your time on earth like a glorious vacation. Work your light inquiry. What lights you up? Wow. So that's what I needed to hear, maybe what you needed to hear. But let me zoom this back out now. So that was a really cool pull. It is interesting for me, at least, that these came up because I'm really torn in what direction to take my YouTube channel. For most of my subscribers that are watching, everyone knows that I talk about F words on my channel. So I talk about flying, I talk about festivals, fashion, food, fitness, fine art, fulfill it yourself projects. But many of my favorite passions and F words have been canceled for months due to COVID. So I really am kind of struggling as far as what type of content I want to put out there. And, you know, collecting cards has become such a, it was like a hobby now turned passion. And so that's why I decided I really want to start doing these unboxings and sharing this artwork, this beautiful artwork with people, and you know, even just the art of reading cards. I think it would be really fun. And so I toyed with doing this for a little while, and now I'm just doing it. And so maybe that's what those two cards were saying from the Work Your Light Oracle. So that's it for this video. Please let me know if you have this deck, if you love working with it. Let me know what you thought of the cards, and thanks so much for watching. I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing if you're an F-word lover or you love tarot, Lenormand, and Oracle. I do plan on, you know, dipping my toes into the YouTube world in here in this type of niche. I really just enjoy looking at cards, doing flip throughs, and hopefully I can start doing some pick a card readings too, because I just think it would be so much fun. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.